This is my unfortunately cockroach-ridden Wii U console that I rescued and cleaned to the best of my ability. It has two major problems. I did get it to work before, and for some reason, when I went to go power it on again, I didn't get any display. So what I just did is I reflowed all of the components and the HDMI port. I think I got it all reflown. Man, this thing stinks. Cockroaches are just disgusting little creatures. Just they just happen to piss and shit all over this board. But I reflowed that. I think I reflowed the retimer, the HDMI ports, and a few components down here. At least made the solder joints nice and silvery. I hope that was enough. I'm not really sure. Another problem is this console didn't detect any ingesting from, or it wasn't detecting a disk being put up to the disk drive, which I have a pretty good idea what the problem is. It's a fuse, because I found that out on another console. It is cool enough that I can start manipulating it. I was cooking it for a long time, and ugh, bleh, just a terrible, terrible smell coming off this thing. So the current plans for this console is just to sort of make it my own personal console. That's why I have the front panel connector soldered on, because I don't really have another choice in that regard. The fuse in question is over here. It'll be this F10 fuse. Let me grab my microscope. Now this was the main problem with another console that I had that didn't ingest discs. So right there is the F10 fuse. I mean, it doesn't look good already, but a lot of the solder joints on this console look like that. They just need to be like, I wish I could just dump this thing full, like entirely into flux and just rework the entire thing, but that's a bit beyond what I can do. I can reflow sections and just hope for the best. But when I put my probes on it, even on joints that look better, I have no continuity through it, so that fuse is kaput. So I will try replacing it and seeing if that will at least fix the disk drive issue. If not, I mean, I guess there's not really much of a loss here. This is the little junk board that could. It's still putzing around and working, so I at least want to try that. I mean, I guess I can heat gun this off. Like I did the last one. Let me get into a spot to where I won't fry my microscope. That should be not good. I have it kind of high, so it should zap off pretty nice. Quickly. Ugh. There's that smell again. It's like, I don't really know how to describe it. It's like burnt popcorn, but like sour. Sour burnt popcorn. It is not a good smell. Blech. grab a fuse. I just have fuses from a Game Boy. Just random, just a lot of fuses that don't have a rating. My understanding is it's like I think it might be a quick blow or a fast blow, like 1.5 amp fuse. I'll add solder to this one a little more manually. This is gonna be one of those, if I can't get it to work, or if I still can't get a display out of this console, I'm not gonna really worry about it for right now. If I have to be okay with the fact that this thing's junk, then, well. I'm not losing a whole lot. I do want to see if I can reflow that resistor, burn off all the crap on it. Quite literally burn it off. Oh, gee whiz. I don't mean to bump my microscope. I just wanted to focus it a little better. Look at that, it sucked itself right to where it wanted to go. Yeah, that resistor is already looking better. I can actually see silver, it's not black. Oh, man, it smells bad. Putrid. And it has substance to the smell. Like, it's not like a burnt popcorn where it's dry. It has substance, like it's moist. Hey, I think that's good. Just added a touch more solder on that leg. Multimeter. Here. Continuity, I'll do between... Oop, board's still a little warm. This capacitor and this pad above it. Continuity. Alright. So that fuse is good. If I have the microscope here, I can look at the HDMI port and the little components up there. They were just blackened with roach piss and shit. Yeah, that resistor does look a little better. I'll wait to actually put... Oh, the heatsink fell off. That thermal pad probably isn't good anymore. Yeah, everything up here was blackened. Like, all of those pins for these empty, like, diode array pins were just covered in shit. Still see kind of chunks of stuff. I was really wanting to look at the HDMI port. Still doesn't look that good. I might have to go in there under my stereoscope and get those pins if I'm still having display problems. But I put a hell of a lot of heat into it. Like, I reflowed this chip, which I think is a redriver. So I did I did the best that I could. And hopefully that's all it is, because I know this thing has displayed before, so I know it works. Why it fouled, maybe those solder joints were just sort of living on a prayer, and I bumped the HDMI port, and that was just kind of enough to essentially not so much kill it, but snapped any solder joints that was barely holding on. And I would like to make this my personal one. The one I have, well, I have a retail console that does work perfectly fine. I would like to keep it retail though. The one I use for homebrew, I think it has very odd boot behavior, which could be a sign of a failing APU, which I might have some mighty neat and very convenient tools. I do not have the tools to reflow a chip of that size. You need very specialty tools, and sure, you can maybe get away with it heat gunning it, but I have found that that is often very destructive. So let's get this back together enough to test and see if I've brought this thing back to, well, I revived it again. Just trying to get together everything that I need. The front panel is sort of permanently affixed, just kind of the nature of these dumb ribbon cables. Let me get some electronic isolation, which I'll just use a paper towel so I can put my disk drive on. I think that's plugged in. I'm gonna get my capture card in. I don't think I have a... Unless I was seeing things, I think that just sparked. Oh no, it's just the silver of the HDMI, okay, cable going in. I'm like, why was it arcing? Ooh, alright. Okay, batteries. Power. We do have a red light up on the front panel. I do want to test the ingestation of the disk drive. See if that was indeed repaired by the fuse. Grab a random disk. I need to get my capture card set. Okay. All I need to know is, does this turn on the console? Yes. Perfect. So that was fixed. So my understanding is that little fuse is just responsible for like the standby circuit of this console. I'm currently still getting no signal, but this is a cold boot. It might just take a minute. I can always try another HDMI cable. But I need to check. I don't think I have. No, none of my gamepads are responding, so there's nothing that I have synced up with this console. Where is my little remote? There it is. No signal. At least do my capture card. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. What I mean by that is a capture card is a factor. If it's being ornery, it might not display anything. Okay, I'm going to try a different HDMI cable. This one is just directly connected into my display that I have in front of me. So it removes that middleman. That didn't go in there very nicely. Wonder if the port got mangled or something. I have absolutely nothing. This port doesn't feel right. Let me get this console off. I may have to go through offline means to get it connected to a gamepad. Plugged. This drive's disconnected. The standby circuits are back. That's at least a positive. As for why it's not detecting anything, heatsink might still be a little warm from the heat gun. The HDMI port looks fine. I think I kind of want to go the AV route. This will require a little bit of setup. And by that I mean getting AV cables. I think this is for a Nintendo Wii. But I think they all function the same. I just need to know, is it the HDMI port? Or is there some other further issue with the display systems? Man, I need another power strip. I realize I'd be so clinically in need of one. I have this fun toy that is working. DC in. I can do HDMI out. And then I can also do AV in. So this sort of functions as a analog to digital converter. I mean, that's exactly what it is. It's an analog to video converter. Analog to digital converter. Words. Okay, it is coming up. I don't really have any other place but right there. So if it works, I should see a display. But I need to get everything back plugged in. Because my understanding is perhaps the redriver for the HDMI and the analog input are completely separate entities. So that if one doesn't impact the other. I mean, this is just sort of a speculation. Get it. Batteries to power. Not going to bother testing the ingestation system of the disk. Let me just see if anything comes up on the device itself. No, I'm getting nothing out of analog. So nothing out of analog, nothing out of HDMI. Which is a tad bit concerning. It's not seeing anything. Video source is AV. Turn off, turn back on. Heatsink's getting very, very warm. I also don't have active cooling on it, so at least try and help it a little. Put a fan on it. Fairly certain these AV cables are good. Nothing. Plug back HDMI. Have the fan upside down so it'll actually push air in over the heatsink. Still nothing. I don't think this is an OS crash or anything system. I feel like this is probably more hardware related. The only way I can really prove that is by getting a going into the recovery menu and pairing a disk drive. Which I think that might be what I need to do right now. I'll get it turned off. I need to get a couple things prepared. I need to get the recovery menu payload onto a SD card, which I think I can use this one because I don't need this payload anymore. Delete all that. Yes. Those are all nonsense. Or those are all from a previous console that I don't need anymore. I need to plug in my Raspberry, or my Pico still has the needed firmware flash to it to go into the recovery menu. I need to go to this form. GBA temp is going to be like this, so I might have to just go straight to the recovery menu on, here it is. And then I'm going to need the commands to I need to remember the process of getting the code for it. Okay. SD card is ready. Let me power off the console. Making sure all those front panel little boards are connected. Installing WUP, pairing gamepad. If I remember correctly, when I go to yes, I think I remember a smart person helped me. Basically, I can, once I go into the recovery menu and pair a gamepad, it will send, it will sort of, this console will pitch itself on my, how would I say that? It'll make itself known to my Wi-Fi network, in a sense. Only in that it will say, like, it will broadcast itself, I guess is a better way to put that. So then it will, then I can view it on my PC and get an associating code, which I can then plug into a website to get the pair code off of. Right here, pin generator. Oh, I don't even think I need to go into the recovery menu. I just have to hit the pair button twice, and it should come up on my network. Because interestingly enough, the gamepad isn't connected via Bluetooth. It's connected via like a band of Wi-Fi. Which is very odd, but maybe that's how they were able to get the speeds they needed, or Nintendo needed. Might have to wait for it to actually boot up before I can do this. God damn it, Windows. Hurry up. Wi-Fi. Oh, can I not? Yeah, I should be able to search for... Okay. See my access points. Either it's not popping up or my PC is not refreshing its access point list. I mean, I have my laptop right down here. I can check it as well. Verify that it's not just my PC being stupid. No, it looks like it's about the same. Try again. Still nothing. Let me power off and power on the console. Let it boot for a little bit before I actually try. Yeah, my monitor is definitely responding to the HDMI. There's just no signal, and it looks like it gets a little confused and starts source farming or source like cycling. Okay, should be. Nothing's coming up. I wonder if it is in pair with the recovery menu. So I did prepare for this. Okay, let me just get my laptop off before I do this little song and dance. All right. My Raspberry Pi Pico, currently flashed with the appropriate software, because I can throw it on the ground. It's not, as long as it doesn't arc against anything. Get my USB-A ready. I just need to wait until my monitor responds to the HDMI signal. It's right there. Missed it. But will that get it? No. Shut off. Okay. Try it again. My timing is awful. Oh, that was too early. I could always try reflashing the Pico just in case it needs it, but I don't think it does. Huh. Try the other port. Oh, what's interesting? My Wii U was catching a display on my capture card. I did not see that on the monitor in front of me. A little early. Early, damn it. I think that was too late. Trying. Let me reflash this Pico. I feel like, or at least do that with the SD card first. Because I haven't used this Pico for anything else. But I'm not getting anything close to a successful boot. Go. UDIPH. Pico 1. Pico UF2. Oh, I still had it downloaded. Perfect. Okay. So now I know I'm on at least the same even playing field. I might reformat that SD card if this still doesn't work. Let me try just reformatting this SD card. FAT32. Recovery menu. A little early. That was perfect. What's interesting is it's shutting off, which I don't think that's a typical behavior. I don't recall that in the few times I've done this. There was another version of the recovery menu I can try. I have really no other choice but to try it. It's this idea of some Wii's don't show TV output if it hasn't been configured properly before, so I'll go on the assumption this is the case. I grab the alternative recovery menu file, paste it here. I need to rename it. Recovery menu. Okay, let's try that. What's interesting is I am getting a response from the console, but it's not booting into recovery menu. I wonder if this one needs, like, I need to go a little later than usual. What I'm used to. I know it's not a perfect science. You gotta kind of play with it. 2, 3. I wonder if that's telling me I need to go earlier. 1. I'll go at the end of the disk drive spooling. No, it just kills it. This is very odd. I should be able to get into the recovery menu. Ooh, I actually did see that display on my monitor for once. So it is intercepting it. It's just... I don't know if it's having trouble going into the recovery menu itself. Maybe it's not seeing this SD card or something. I can try another SD card. I don't know if I'm doing anything with this one, but... Oh, this one is Xbox 360 RGH. I want to keep that around for a little longer. Here's another SD card. This is looks like it's set up for Wii U. Or ISFX hacks, which I don't need anymore. Let's do the same recovery menu. The original. I'll flash that Pico one more time. Worst it does is nothing. Pico has gotten me into recovery menu before, so I know it works. And I mean, it still shows up on my computer when I boot select it. Okay, it's good to go. Let's try this again. Interesting. Let me try a different micro USB cable. I know that other USB cable works, but I need to just start eliminating factors. I think I'm going to do it on the Pico side. I wonder if it's not reading the SD card. Because it's responding when I'm plugging in the Pico, so I think it is trying to go into the recovery menu. Maybe it just can't see the SD card. But it just like almost freaks out and then just stops. Interesting. I don't think I can get away with using like a SD to USB converter. I think it has to be like the official, not so much the official, but the actual SD card slot, just with how it's interfaced into the system. If anything, that was a little early. It's just odd that it shuts off. I don't recall that happening when I've done these recovery events. Hmm. I'm gonna reflash my Pico, just in case I accidentally held boot select at one point. I know I pressed it on accident a couple of times. Okay. That's why I kind of liked using the plugging in via USB-A. But it's just easier this way. What's now interesting is I'm not even getting that really messed up Wii U logo coming up. Let me go a little late. Curious. Try that other SD card. I had the different recovery menu on it. I don't know. I think I might have to sit with this one for a while and see if well, I guess two ifs. If I can figure out why and if I want to even bother. Because again, this one is, as you can tell just from the disk drive housing, it is of not very good condition at all. And making it my personal console would indeed be the ideal circumstance, but right now, I mean, if I can't even get the thing to boot, that could mean any number of things. I can't even get it to go into recovery, so what else is possibly wrong with this thing? I don't exactly know. Could be perhaps that the SD card slot just needs to be reflown or clean. And the pins inside look fine. Assuming it's supposed to look like that. I do have another console over here I can check. One one two 112 111. 112 122 122. Interesting. Must use a different card slot for these different consoles. I mean, I guess I could try cleaning this game card or this SD card slot. I'd really like to get this back to life. I really would. And I swear I've had it working before. I might have to go look through my old footage to see it actually working. Like, what could have differed between then and now? I don't know. Nothing other than a little bit of time. So what I'm doing is just loading up a micro SD, the full-sized SD converter, just saturating the pins and rubbing alcohol. And then just rubbing them, or taking the SD card slot, SD card in and out of the console to try and just put friction on it. Okay, I think that's good. I'll try maybe one or two more times, and then I think I might just have to say, well, I fixed the disk drive issue that it was having. That seems to be a consistent fix for this. I mean, I don't think looking at the HDMI port's going to really matter if I can't even get anything out of AV. But the goal right now is to get a game, or a tablet hooked up to it. That's sort of my goal right now. Because then I can confirm whether or not the console actually works. Or is it a bigger problem? And if I can get it to work, I'll clean it up really good, reflow any bad looking solder joints, and kind of adopt this one as my own. Use my other, because I know this works. So I feel like my recovery attempts are successful, it's just not reading the recovery menu. That's just sort of the gut feeling I have. Okay. That's a little early. Oh, look at that. I did it. So that light is purple. So I am in the recovery menu. I can't see it, though. I mean, I don't see anything on my screen. Capture card isn't capturing anything either. I need to look into my Wi-Fi network real quick just to see if anything's popping up. Nothing right now. So what I need to do is I'm going to go look at an image of what the recovery menu looks like. Okay. So it's eject to navigate. So I need to go down to pair gamepad. So it's dump system logs, which I should probably do. Dump OTPC prom, which I should also probably do. Load network config, start WUP server, pair gamepad, enter. Hopefully that shows up on my Wi-Fi network. Oh. I have a red flashing light. Okay, I'm just going to assume that's maybe a failed entry into the recovery menu. That is the first sign of like... That was a little early. I'm gonna let it sit just for a little bit before I start. Still got nothing HDMI. I feel like I should almost try analog real quick. Just to see if I get anything. I also just took out the SD card, so if that doesn't crash the system, I don't know what will. And I'm using my long... I'm at least successfully getting into the recovery menu as the... At least that's what the LED light's telling me. Still not getting any display analog as well. I don't think I need to plug in all of the audio inputs for it to work. Maybe defaulting to HDMI because it's in. Unplug it. Okay, so let me just, for the sake of humoring, let's just say maybe it put the recovery menu into RAM. And me accidentally popping out the SD card is not that big of a deal. So go to dump system logs, dump OTPC prom, load network configuration, start WUP server, pair gamepad, select. And that's what it does, is it does that, which I don't think is... It might be normal. I guess I haven't really remembered what happened, but let me press the sync button twice. Not seeing anything on my Wi-Fi networks. Okay, so let me just call that a mall again. Try that again. Let me try the other. I don't remember which one had which recovery menu. Ooh, powered on to a purple light. Not normal. Let me just power cycle it. Monitor is not searching for a source. Okay, it says I'm in the recovery menu again. Dump system logs. I can at least see if it dumped the system logs. For some reason, it really doesn't like going into controller pairing. Because if it dumped the system logs, that means I am successfully getting into the recovery menu. Yep, there they are. All 58 logs. There should be 100. Let me search them to see if there's a... There's a specific log entry I'm looking for. Dev MLC01. That tells me if the internal system NAND is completely fried. No logs. What's odd is it almost like cut out halfway through the system logs. It should have generated 100. At least I'm used to it generating 100, but it is at least getting into the recovery menu. It's not getting much further than... Let's just boot this console normally and press the sync button twice. I know I said I wouldn't really look into this too much, but I'm invested. Oh! Hi, Wii U. Alright. Let me get a gamepad synced to it and note down the code. Club Spade. So, I'm just gonna get a gamepad attached to it first before I do anything too grand. I know this heatsink is not really attached very well. Club Spade. So, alright. I don't know what to say about that. Couldn't connect with the console. That's a problem. Club Spade. It is also possible that it's just because of these antennae that are just skewed about. I'm pretty sure it has the correct Club Spade. It has the correct the gamepad like board that's in it, because that code travels with that little subboard. And I think it confirms, like, the way it sort of, like, communicates maybe with the APU. Let me just turn my controller off and back on. I know this controller works. I think it just needs some parts is all that's the problem with it. Club, club, club. Spade. Maybe it, like, disconnected a little? It shouldn't. I don't think it would show a code. But I'm really not going to get too far if I can't connect to it. So I guess I'll go for broke and turn it off and turn it back on. Or maybe it's just frozen. Oh. I mean... if I had audio... Oh. Okay, maybe it did take my command signal. I don't have audio on my end. I know it's being fed through the capture card. So I can watch the waveforms through there. That's weird. That's weird that it's just powering on like nothing's wrong. What I need to do is actually probably make dumps of everything, get ISFX hacks installed into it, and just dump everything. Okay, it's still club, 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 spade. Okay, it's connecting this time. I wonder if it's like mildly overheating as well, because the thermal pad that's on it is not good. Yeah, that's the random ass profile I made for this. So, it works now. What did I do differently? I have no idea. Maybe just going into the recovery menu just like sparked it back to life or something. Try a disk. I'll swap inputs so it's my gamepad's visible on screen. Oops. To go over one. It sounds like it's working. It doesn't sound like it's... Yeah. There it is. There's tanks. I mean... Okay. It's also Mario Kart 8. Does that boot? Yeah. Why is Mario Kart 8 on here? I thought I factory reset this thing. Wonder if this is like a special edition console that comes with like a hard-coded copy of Mario Kart 8. It's taking its sweet time to boot. There it goes.
Mario Kart 8!
That is Mario Kart 8, alright. Alright, let's get this console off. And, I mean... It works. I'm a little baffled. I don't know what I did differently. Let me go back into the recovery menu. Let's see if it will actually show a display so I can properly dump the logs and the, get a couple different backups. Now I'm not trusting this thing. I trust it about as far as I can throw it, which, mind you, I can probably throw it pretty far, but I don't want to. This thing's been through enough trauma. It is odd for it to just, start working. Something about going into the recovery mode. Maybe it just had some weird system glitch, and just going into recovery was enough for it. Yeah, there it is. That's the recovery menu. So, it is eject. So let's dump system logs. So I guess there were only 58 system logs. I thought I always created like 100. Let's dump OTP and CPROM. Okay. And without actually going into ISFX hacks, I feel like I should almost go through the process of doing that just so I can get the SLC dumped. I don't think I can do this without being connected to the internet. Yeah, net config. Okay, I mean, I do have some backups, and I have confirmed that I can go into the recovery menu. Why it just sprung back to life? I'm wondering if it was overheating, and maybe that's why it wasn't showing a display out. Because once I started putting pressure on because this thermal pad is cooked, I need to replace it with some putty. But I do want to do some additional welding work on this motherboard. There's a lot of joints on here that just look atrocious, and I just have to cook them down. But I mean, it now works perfectly fine, other than being very visually disgusting and smelling bad when I put heat to it. Seems to be fine. So I mean, I'll take my victories I'll take my victories. I'll just say that.